Welcome to the Parks and Recreation Board meeting for Monday, October 13th, 2025. The City of Gladstone is abiding by guidelines set forth in House Bill 2560, which requires the governing body of the public body to extent reasonably possible to make all meetings accessibly remote through the technological means and provide opportunity for members of the general public to remotely submit oral and written testimony during meetings to extent in-person oral and written testimony is allowed. Therefore, this meeting will be open to the public both in person and virtually using the Zoom platform. Kristen, would you call the roll, please?
Kate Cornelius.
Here.
Ken Agramson.
Here.
Eric Butler. Nancy Turner.
Present.
Bruce Hildreth.
Here.
We have, next on our agenda, we have the approval of September 8th meeting minutes. Were there any corrections or concerns when you read those minutes and meetings from the meeting previously?
My name is misspelled once, but I don't think that matters.
Where was it misspelled at?
It under update on paved loop trail.
Okay. I'll get it corrected.
Otherwise, I motion we approved.
Okay, we have a motion made by Kate Cornelius to pass the minutes from the last meeting. Do I have a second?
Kim Agramson, motion to second.
Okay, we have a second made by Kim. Kristen, can you call the roll, please?
Kate Cornelius.
Yes.
Kim Agramson.
Yes.
Eric Butler.
Yes.
Nancy Turner.
Present. Yes.
Bruce Hildreth.
Yes.
Okay, first off is business from the staff.
Yes, thank you. This is Silas Richardson, Public Works. I'm going to start off just with kind of a general update with our parks maintenance. A lot of it was in the staff report for September 2025, but we're continuing on with the trash pickup and some bathroom cleaning in all parks 2 days a week. We're continuing on with some mowing as well. In most of the parks that the irrigation has been shut off, but there's still quite a bit of growth this time of year. So we're continuing on with weekly mowing. Still dealing with a little bit of graffiti cleanup. We assisted with a couple events. One was the music on the greens and movies in the parks. That was the last one for the season. And then we also assisted with the preparation for Fur Baby event, but I think that was in August actually. No, was it in September? I think it was in September, yeah. Which was a very successful event. Lots of people. It was about raising money for dogs, I believe. So it was a good event. Finishing up some touches on painting at a painting project at Max Patterson Park. And then at Meldrum Bar Park, we've removed a lot of blackberries and other invasive species. The crews have cleared approximately 15 yards or 3,000 square feet of area. Also had some boat ramp cleanup that has happened with the rains that we've had. We've got some logs that have kind of swirled into the boat ramp, so we've had to do the cleanup that we do on a routine basis down there. And we cleaned up 2 small encampments near Doll Beach and another that was under the 99 bridge. The camps were kind of a standard size, and we referred to our partners with RID crews, removed approximately 8 to 10 yards of debris. So quite a bit of debris from those 2 camps, but there's also still continuing repair of water leaks that is happening at Meldrum Bar. One of them was the water to the restrooms that we had to have offline for a little bit, but we got that fixed. It also affected the hose bib at the boating area. And we've had, at the end of the summer, like typical, quite a few wasp nests and other yellow jacket nests that have popped up. A couple of them were in the fields, soccer fields, so we hired a contractor to come out and take care of those nests, underground nests.
Mm-hmm.
But they're busy taking care of routine maintenance. And yeah, lots going on, but we're definitely feeling the fall out there as everybody else is. So it's slowing down a little bit. The next item we had from our agenda meeting was the Meldrum Bar Park. Just a few updates. The men's side of the flush restroom, the door is still in disrepair. We've ordered one, and the style that we ordered is about 4 weeks out. So we're just waiting for it to get delivered. Once it is, we'll have it repaired. We ordered a style that has a much more robust hinge. The entire door is a hinge, so we're hoping that it will help with any sort of impact that might come in the future. But the police are going regular trips down there, and we haven't had, since it's been open, we haven't had too many issues with the restroom. So that's a good thing. The RC track erosion control plan is still in the works. We're just dealing with some permitting to make sure that we can get the right product installed, but I'm hopeful that end of October, early November, we'll be able to get that product installed and do some other upgrades for the erosion control around the actual track itself. There was a grant application that was submitted for a dog park development. If we are to receive money for that, hopefully it'll help pay for the area itself, the fencing, possibly some trees, maybe a source of water that we can bring, and the footprint will be where the dog park is designated in the Meldrum Bar site plans. So as you're going into the park past the pay station, kind of look to the left, and it's that plateau that's in between the residence and the tree line before it drops down into the sports field. So thanks to Michelle, who is the community center coordinator, a manager. She did a lot of work on that grant for us. So I'm hopeful that we get it, but it's submitted and we'll see where it goes. So as we talked about before the meeting, the question was brought up about a project that started before I started with Gladstone, but it was basically park amenities, referring to some trash receptacles and benches that were purchased to kind of standardized all trash receptacles, cans in the parks. As soon as our meeting was over, the planning meeting we had, I mentioned it to the supervisor and they got right after it. So most of Cross and Ames Park has been done. The next step is we're going to put a couple at the nature park at the entrance, the one on Webster and Oatfield. And I think we have 10 left over. So we'll keep assessing parks and adding them where we can, but we're getting pretty close to standardizing. I know Robin Hood is done. Max Patterson, I believe, is done. So we'll be pretty much all standardized and finish up that project. So thanks for bringing that to light, Nancy and Kate. Appreciate it.
So Silas?
Yeah.
So there were both garbage cans and benches?
I don't think we have any benches, but we've just been focusing on garbage cans is what the report is I got.
Okay, and then there's 10 left?
There are 10 cans left. So we're going to get all the parks done. And I guess, except for Meldrum, we'll focus on kind of the interior parks, I'll call it, or the city proper parks. And then if we have any left, we'll put them strategically in Meldrum.
Is there any thought about putting them on the Main Street on Portland Avenue? Because I think there's 2 of them on Portland Avenue. Then the rest are this big cement ones. Do they?
I haven't talked about it. I mean, we could discuss it possibly in the future, but
Okay.
I know there's bigger plans for that whole avenue.
Oh, okay.
And that's not going to happen overnight, but
Right.
at some point, hopefully
Okay.
we can get that moving too. So, but we'll definitely think about it, Nancy.
So I've got a question,
Yeah.
Silas. Do we have a poop station, so to speak?
We do have those, I think, in various areas, but are you?
David M. Scott Park got officially recognized with signage and so forth. There's no trash can or poop station there.
Oh, okay. I'll look into it.
I think it should have one.
Yeah, we can definitely look into that. Thanks, Bruce.
Yeah, sure.
That's curious. After all of the hubbub about that I thought for sure there was a can up there, but maybe not. So
I-
Thank you for checking into that.
Yeah, we'll look into it.
Okay.
It's news to me. And
Yeah,
is that the small?
the little pocket one up. on-
Off of Ridgegate, yeah.
Yes.
You know, there, well, while they're looking at that too, there was 2 trees that were planted in there.
Yeah, we know about those.
They didn't take.
Yeah.
I don't know, one of the stumps is not around. The other one, though, it's attached to the root ball and just kind of floating around in the
Yeah.
ground.
We'll be getting close. I think it's on our to-do list, and this is the time of month
Yeah.
to replant. So it's
Yeah.
definitely been recognized.
I think it's actually, the grass has turned green there because it's getting a little bit
Yeah.
more sun in there. It's really probably nice. I don't even know if you need the trees. There's lots of trees there.
Yeah.
You know, the stump, though, somebody should probably just shove a
Okay.
shovel under it and.
I'll pass it on tomorrow with the crews.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And then I wanted to give an update on the paved loop trail project.
Wait,
Yes.
Hi.
Sorry, Kate. I'm sorry. Didn't see you.
I thought that after all of that, we landed on no trash can or dog poop station because they strongly opposed, and we said, fine, we will use our resources in places where it's wanted.
You know, I'd really want to go back and check. Kate and I went through this and went through some meetings with them, and I know that they really did not want any benches. They didn't want anybody staying there, but I thought there was a garbage can connected
No.
to a poop station.
They said, I believe it was maybe on the poop station as long as it's got just one of those tiny
Does it have
little
one of,
cans.
yeah, it may have one of the little tiny.
But
cans.
they strongly opposed a full-size garbage can with the concern of people dumping home
Trash.
trash.
Or people using them for trash.
Yeah. So
So
I thought we had just decided to do nothing.
This is all great information. I'll probe into it and look and get some
we'll
more
have to
information.
go back into the minutes because that was an interesting thing. So,
Thank you. I'll look into it.
okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Yeah, because they're really, I mean, you can not have a garbage can and still have garbage, or you can have a garbage can and have a place for people to put it. So, anyway,
That's well put. I would also just say and recommend that since we have them in every park, and this is a park, it should have one.
at least one. So, but if you want a motion, I could give that to you. Or you can come.
Let me investigate a little bit and then I'll come back to you and
I-
tell you where it goes.
Yeah.
Update on anything else? Sorry. Okay. Update on the paved loop trail. The project is moving forward. So the contractor will be mobilizing tomorrow. Equipment and materials. They're also doing a totally separate project for us in town. But on the 16th, which is Thursday, we're going to have a 7:30 meeting to go over once again on site, just kind of, we had a pre-construction meeting and went really well. The contractor that's doing the work, Kale, has quite a bit of experience. Their most recent was at Silver Falls State Park. They did a pathway there. So if you talk to people engage with you, please do tell people to be mindful of the construction. And I know people always want to look, but they're trying to get work done and they want to be real space. We need space. So that's the biggest thing they're concerned about is people coming up and walking into their job site. So if you talk to people in the community, please, they can watch, but keep their distance.
Are they,
Sure.
I'm sure they're posting signs and.
Yeah, they'll have signs up to say
Okay.
trail closed and station closed, and they'll put fencing up strategically and stuff. But it's going to be starting. I don't know if they'll actually start this week, but for sure their schedule is to have substantial completion within like a week and a half. So it'll probably be done by the end of October. Some of that's weather dependent, but they're moving forward. So that's exciting. On the other side, the restroom and picnic area, we're still working on design. Pat Sissel, civil engineering, is doing some site evaluation and looking at the parking lot and stuff. So we're moving forward with those designs as well. But it's exciting to know that the Loop Trail project is moving forward and they'll start breaking ground either this week or next week. So it's a good thing. Last thing, I want to just talk a little bit about some status for memorial benches at Cross and Ames. Currently, we're just waiting on plaques for the benches. And that's to order the benches. We need to know what the plaques are, correct? Kristen, is that correct?
Mhm.
Yeah. So,
Also, I don't know if you guys know that the grant for approval of ADA bird blind at the Gladstone Nature Park was approved. So that is going to be moving forward. There's some stuff, some business that has to happen at council next day, tomorrow. And so I just thought you guys might be interested in that. It's pretty great news. So.
Thank you for that update. Yeah. Okay. Does anyone else have any questions for Silas while we're going through this? Have we heard anything about another board member?
I haven't.
Like any applications that came in or anything? Okay.
I haven't.
Still out there. Okay. All right. Business from the board then. Oh, the first one is Nick Shannon. Kristen, were you able to pull up that photo of the? Okay, thank you. While you get that up. One of the things that we had offered was a nature play area, and that rated pretty high. However, there's always concerns about longevity with nature, and Ian had stopped and taken a picture of the one at Westmoreland Park on how it's deteriorated, and we sent that. So, and hold on 1 second. And I think you said it was like 11 years, 10, 11 years, 9.
All right, Ian, I think it's 8 or 9 years since it's been dedicated. And that picture is indicative of every log in that park, and it's all made of logs. They've actually already replaced an entire thing there because it was rotting and unsafe. And basically there was like 4 out of 20 some odd logs that I would say were safe to be on at this point.
So I think it might be good to have that photo available just so when people start asking about it, we have that information. So, timeline, or I know, do you have some information on that? On
Yeah, so
Matic or?
we have reached out to a company. They are the source. Buell is the company, and they're the state source. I forget the terminology. Correct me, Kristen. Sourcewell, thank you. So they know what we want. They're a little behind, but they're going to be getting some concept drawings made up. We've passed on our wish list that we gathered from a couple meetings ago. So hopefully when we get those, we'll email them to you as ASAP, as soon as possible.
Okay.
And we can start the discussion. But they're a company where you buy the product and they will handle the construction and get the contractor and basically do it from the old to the new. So once we get the concept, we'll sit down and talk it out and see what we can make happen, and we'll keep moving forward. I'm hoping that, potentially by the new year, maybe we're moving forward with a contract and getting something on paper to where we can commit.
Okay.
That would be my best laid plan.
All right. Thank you.
Mhm.
That's exciting. We had also had a question about, I think we've talked a lot about funding for improvement in the parks and looking at grants. And there were some questions that the board members raised about how to go about that. So I'm going to let them talk. Ian, if you wanted to ask that question and see if we can figure out the process for that.
Sure. I guess I was wondering if it would be helpful for us to try and find people to help work on grant proposals. I was in my dream, I was thinking maybe as we're seeking another board member, if we could try and find someone with a background in grant application, because I imagine city resources, you all have a lot to do and grant stuff can take a while. And potentially we could then help work on some of those grants, but working closely with you also, we're trying to get grants for the right things in the right priority list. but I know like that's not my area of expertise at all. But if we could find someone who could help direct that, could we help out in finding those grants and finding those outside sources of funding?
Yeah, I think I want to discuss that with Administrator Betts and see what the protocol is for that. Definitely, if you find grants, if you're out there researching, definitely, and you want to do a synopsis or kind of read through it, forward them to me or email them to Kristen or our Public Works, and we'll explore it. And you're absolutely right; it does take some time. You know, we're doing our best. I just was shown the Oregon, I think it's ORPA is the acronym, Oregon Recreational Parks Association. There's quite a few grants there that I've been looking at. A lot of them seem to have sort of maybe a stipulation or a caveat with it where like you have to use this product or that product, which isn't bad. It's just like you said, Ian, how can we apply that and how can we do it strategically to meet kind of council goals and what we have out in the parks as well. So, but I'll ask and see if that's something we could, use help with on, or if not.
Yeah, if there's groundwork or photography or written things and yeah, we can help out. I know I don't want to cross into not my job or anything, but I know grant writing gets intense sometimes.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's a good thought. Thank you.
I just think it's important that if we do that, that we really keep an eye on the site plan, at least at Meldrum. There is a site plan and we need to stay as close to that as we can do it. And then the master plan for the other parks might give some direction, but I think it's important.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
Can I ask a question on?
Absolutely.
So when we're talking about funding and sourcing and so forth, and I know this was discussed last meeting, which unfortunately I was out of town myself. I'm thinking in terms of where some of the money gets to get used, such as Wes funds. Meldrum is probably one of the prime parks, and then of course you have the Ames Park and Cross. I know we've been accumulating that money, and to the best of my knowledge, I haven't seen anything budget-wise that it's been spent on. So I'm really kind of curious how much money is in the bucket there, because we keep talking about trying to have a bake sale for the dog park at Meldrum, and it's high on the list. And when a grant doesn't go through, it gets pushed to the next year. So I guess my question is, I believe Wes money can be used for that.
Yeah, I'm not sure on the total amount. I think it's called the Good Neighbor Fund or something like that. And some of the money out of that we were going to use for the erosion control around the RC park or RC track, excuse me. So I'll take it and discuss with Administrator Betts and see if that's something that we can investigate. And I can get you the number too, Bruce.
Yeah, I just think it'd kind of be nice to, if we have this money and we have something that's high priority, we can kind of say, all right, if it's been used, then maybe we can understand what it's been used for.
Yeah, and I don't know if there's certain stipulations for that money, like it has to be used specifically for more conservation work or along the river itself. I don't know what is behind it.
I've heard it before. It was explained to us actually by one of the directors from Wes. But there again, that was probably 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah, and I'll explore it.
That'd be good to know.
This is Eric. I'm not familiar with this particular funding, but I know that Wes's priorities are generally about protecting in-stream water quality. And so I imagine that's probably a big part of the reason why this is applicable to the erosion control, because that's a direct watershed impact. The dog park might be a little bit more of a stretch. I mean, I can see a case being made, but it'd be a little bit more of a reach. I believe that there's also a geographical constraint of the West monies that's not even eligible for all of Meldrum Park, but it's really kind of the area of river influence.
Yeah, thank you, Eric.
I think the other thing that's important there's so many little irons in the fire right now around parks in Gladstone, which is really exciting, but it's also hard to keep them all straight. The Metro grants, their Nature in the Neighborhood program that's coming up, and there are numerous projects that were suggested for Gladstone that have been pushed on to the next level. And starting, I think, like the 7th of October through the middle of November, you can actually vote on the ones that you think are the best. And this is through all of Clackamas County, other people have put in. So I think there's like 80 projects. Am I correct on this?
There's a lot. I don't know the exact number, but yeah, there's a lot.
A lot of them, but it's on, pardon? Well, or 10. I'm not sure. Every time I go, it's different. But anyway, several of the products have made it through the first round. I mean, several of our project suggestions have made it on to the next level. But then we have to compete with everybody else. So I know at the Halloween event, the city is sponsoring a table to get people to vote, correct?
Mhm.
And I'm not sure how else other than through word of mouth and some of the city email things that we can get more of Gladstone to vote for those. Because one of them is one at Meldrum and one, along the Clackamas River. There's a bunch of them. But anyway, so just kind of getting that word out to people to go on to their website and vote, help us, because other people may have a better way of getting their members out voting. I'm not sure.
This is Eric. I'm thinking maybe flyers at some of the parks with the QR code where they can vote would be a good idea as well.
That's an awesome idea. I know they just are random too when they're listed. I went on there last night to look and they're random. You can't alphabetical go to Gladstone and see what's there. You have to like search through all of the projects. So you have to be kind of tenacious. But it's worth it. I think if we could marshal some of that metro money, more metro money coming into the city, that's a good thing. So, but yeah, I think flyers in the park would be great. If we could put some up.
This is Ian. Can we include suggestions on what to vote for, or would that be inappropriate?
No, we'd have to work on the wording. Yeah, I think we should. Vote for our projects. Why not? I don't know.
I think you could list our projects specifically on there.
Yeah,
I think you could do that on the signage. I don't know.
I think we could probably
Make it
work
much
that
easier.
so that it works. But yeah, I just want to remind people that that's out there. So talk to your neighbors, friends, every family member you have, kind of voting for the Gladstone projects. Okay. Does the city need help with that booth on Halloween night? Or do they have that staffed and not to worry?
I don't know.
That would be a Haley question.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I'm happy to ask her.
Okay, and let us know if you
Yeah.
need somebody to.
Yep.
Okay,
I'll ask her.
Thank you,
thank
Kristen.
you. So is there any other business from the board? Any other questions?
Jim Magramson here. Just curious about the fate of the old playground equipment at Nick Shannon. I have some ideas, wink, wink.
Well,
What was done, for example, with the gear down at Meldrum?
I don't know. That was before my time, but was it recycled? Was it?
It's recycled. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I've heard 2 or 3 months ago, or when maybe the February meeting, it was kind of suggested that maybe we donate the metal to a club or something, but then it's also been talked about we could get money if we recycle, take it to a recycler and get that money and put it back into the general fund. I mean, I'm open to suggestions. I guess I'll talk again to Administrator Betts about what the best approach is.
Sure.
What I don't want to see happen is somebody says, oh yeah, we'll take it and do this, and then it gets repurposed somewhere else, because I think the intent is maybe it's run its course and we don't want to take on that liability if someone took it and didn't install it right and maybe somebody
Interesting.
gets
Yeah.
hurt or something. I mean,
Sure.
I want to avoid that.
Yeah.
But, I haven't really put much thought into it other than, stockpile it, or I was thinking of scrapping it and trying to get the money
Okay.
for it and scrap
Sure.
it.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to get into any conflicts.
But I'm open to suggestions, I guess, and we could talk about
I
it.
just happen to know an HOA that might be interested if it was considered to be safe or, if it avoided any issues.
I mean, safety, I grew up playing on stuff like that and I'm still here, but I mean, I got a couple limps and
Yeah.
my fingers don't always work correctly the way they should, but no, I mean, yeah, I'll discuss it with Administrator Betts and
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
yeah.
All right. Any other business from the board? Is there any business from the audience or anyone calling? Okay.
No, it's
So,
not.
before we convene though, I would like, if each member wants to talk about something that they've observed in the parks, or they have an attaboy or something, if just kind of want to share
I'll start.
okay.
I run through the parks weekly, usually a couple times a week, especially Cross and Ames. And they're looking really nice. So I just want to give a shout out to the parks team who are out there, both the FTs and the seasonals, getting those cleaned up, especially in Cross Park under the bridge where they cleaned out all those blackberries that were taking over the trail. It's so nice to just be able to run through there and not get bitten by foliage. So thank you.
I'll pass it on. Thank you.
Anyone else?
I think you've just been doing a good job with the parks, like Kate said. I was under 99 not too long ago, from Doll Beach to the end there, and it was very pleasant. It was nice, and I think a lot of it might be that it's been cleared out a little bit, so it's not so spooky, and yeah, I enjoyed that part of it. And along the river there too, the fact that I have a dog, so I walk him. The idea that there are a poop station here and there, it makes it really nice. I even see people that have used a bag for some reason, they leave it on the path. I like to think they're going to come back by and get it because I've done it myself. But when it's been there for 2 days, I figured, no, I'll pick it up and throw it away. I usually pick it up, throw it away anyway. But you look at the grass between the street and the path, and it's nice. The trees have been kept up instead of being neglected. So everything's looked really nice. You guys have done a good job this summer. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I'll pass it on, and I agree. Thank you very much. I had one item, Nancy.
Yes, Silas.
Has there ever been any discussion or thought about maybe doing meetings bi-monthly or possibly even quarterly? I like monthly meetings. I just want to make sure that they're fruitful for everybody's busy schedules. And, we're connected. We can send updates. It might be something to talk about offline and discuss. And we're coming into the holiday season. And it was nice, I think, for everybody to have the summer off for a couple months. Maybe after the new year, we could talk about it or think about it, if that would be a possibility.
I would love to take a break for November and December just for selfishly, my schedule and things that are going on. It's a really challenging time for me to make these meetings. So I don't know that we're ready to say, like, yes, let's go to bi-monthly or quarterly, but kind of playing it by year and making that call at the meetings. Like this is a time where we usually do take a little bit of a break. It would definitely work well for me.
Anyone else have thoughts on that? I think the only thing pressing that I see would be getting the Nick Shannon schematics going.
Yes.
So if we could figure out another way to do some of that preliminary evaluation with the members, and they can say, okay, I'm not particularly happy with that. Could we change this to this?
Sure.
And maybe move that first schematic, if we could do that some other way besides a meeting.
Yeah.
And then bring a modified one back to a meeting, that would be great. Everything else seems to be perking along.
Yeah.
So I'm not opposed to that.
Okay.
So maybe if we can just have everyone kind of keep an eye on it, and when it's time for the November one and we kind of talk, usually Kate and Silas and I talk, And we'll see if there's not enough and we can do it by email.
Yeah.
The updates.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I mean, especially for the parks, the plans and the schematics or the drawings, easily emailed out. You can look at them, you can mark them up, you can talk about them, you can give your feedback. But, and again, I'm not trying to, throw a wrench in the cog here, but the season's coming up and I want everybody to be able to enjoy it. And I'm happy to give updates to the group whenever you want them. And if it's easier to do that and take a little break, just think about it.
Yep. I think it's options.
And
So-
I should caution everybody too that you have to be paying attention to meeting laws in Oregon, especially serial meeting laws, which means that if you guys are talking back and forth and there's more than 3 of you, it's a meeting and it doesn't meet the Oregon. So I just pay attention to how you guys do that going forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
As a
Yeah.
caution.
I think that's the hardest part.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we kind of look at it, and sometimes it's really hard when you get something on email and you're looking at a schematic.
Yep.
And it's only this big, it's really hard to see that detail. So if we could have, usually you get a bigger copy in Public Works. So maybe,
So when we get the first set of schematics, it'll be all on computer. We won't be given a paper copy until near the end.
near the end.
We can do a couple of different options. For one, to make sure that we're not breaking any meeting laws, but we could also easily just post it so that we don't have to worry about that. There's some flexibility there. We would run it basically like we did with Meldrum, where we might just have you and Kate look at the first couple to see if we've met some marks and then make those changes and then go to the next round at a meeting or something. But yeah.
And I know with Meldrum, we had it in an AB and then put it back out to people.
Yep.
I think.
And that was at like round 3.
Round 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that would.
Yeah. We have a ways to go.
I
So
know.
yeah.
So I think it's, how the board feels on that one. Or just
Anyone?
anyone? Okay, so yeah, when we get those, I think if you could get the schematics out to us and people can make that first round and then send it back. And by then it'll be the first of the year.
Yeah. And we can do like individual emails
Yeah.
to where you guys are just responding back to me
Right.
so that
Yeah.
we don't
run afoul.
break any
Right.
rules.
And I think getting it to Counselor Blau too, so that she could, I think anybody.
Yep. We'll send it out to everybody
Yep.
so that everybody has some insight
Great,
to it.
cool. All right. Anybody else? Oh, I was going to say, I am really impressed with the quality of the parks right now. The painting at Patterson I love having the different color on those shelters instead of just the blah beige. The buildings are cute. It catches your eye. As much as that park gets used in the summer, it looks really good. I don't know how it does it, but it does it. I love the new garbage cans at Cross. And I was down at Meldrum today and whoever was going after the blackberries and the ivy, more power to them. That's not a fun job. So, and there were some really thick ivy branches. So it's been there a while. I appreciate all the work they're doing. It's looking good.
Thank you. I'll pass it on.
Yeah. This is Ian. I work in a Portland city park every day, and oftentimes talking with people there, it's like, maybe we can get to it if we have the time, etc. There's been a pile of trash sitting out in the park for 2 weeks, and I feel really good. Like, it feels like we're taking care of it here in Gladstone, and I really appreciate, like, stuff gets noticed, it's taken care of, and it feels good.
Well said, Ian. I agree. And that's all the crew. Everybody that works in the parks, they do. They care and they like their jobs and they do the best they can. So I appreciate the feedback. Thank you very much.
This is Eric. I'll second the appreciation for what's been going on down at Meldrum with the vegetation management. And is that crew that's been doing that, or has that been a contractor?
It's all us.
Wow.
What's the big pile?
Oh,
of rock?
excuse me. There's been some fifth graders,
Oh.
some, yes, educational groups that have come out. Thank you, Kristen.
Yeah.
Yes, we have had some help.
Yeah. So what is the big pile of rocks down there? right along the side of the road.
So the border around the soccer sports fields is wood posts that are just failing. They're rotted. So part of the border is rock, I think, on the roadside, the Dahl roadside. So we're just gonna use that rock to replace the
Okay,
the
People.
4x4 is, yeah, cost wise it's more effective and just trying to keep people out of the sports field basically.
yeah, okay. That's what I figured it was for. Yeah, so, cool. All right, anybody else? Anything? All right, then we'll, if I had a motion to adjourn this meeting.
This is Eric. I move to adjourn.
Okay, we have a motion made by Eric to adjourn the meeting. Do I have a second?
Ian seconds.
We have a second by Ian. Kristen, if you could call the roll?
Kate Cornelius?
Yes.
Kim Agrimson?
Yes.
Eric Butler?
Yes.
Nancy Turner?
Yes.
Bruce Hildreth?
Yes.
Ian Moore?
Okay.
Yes.
The meeting is adjourned. Thank you.